I do want to take us over to Hansy Flick, who's spoken to Guillaume Balaguer, because I think it's kind of on this theme as well. So let's listen into Hansy Flick.
And I think also they deserve the red card. The goalkeeper plays the ball. It's clear play, and he stopped it with the hand. It's double yellow, and it's red card and penalty normally for me.
It's common sense versus the law in that one. So Atletico Madrid will tell you that the common sense says and the context says that there was no pressure. It was just retake the moment. And you're saying that the law says that if you hold the ball when this has started moving, it's a penalty.
Of course, he has the ball here. He played, and for me, it's clear. It's clear. He started the game, and for me, it's clear. I don't. Okay. It's like that. Is that? I don't. You know, it's not about this. I think we have also a chance in Atletico. We don't give up, so we will fight, and we have the quality also to win there.
We're still arguing, everyone.
Yes, we are.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
No, I'm not happy with that. I don't.
All right, well, we'll all gather ourselves and come back with better energy after the break. How about that? We'll be back in just a second.
You said all.
No. I just wanted to see how Liverpool performed tonight, and I wanted to see how you would react. That's all it was.
And how did they react?
And I've seen some fantastic football. That's all I could ask for. Yeah?
And the reaction? I want to hear your answer.
Well, hopefully, because that camera's been on you all night.
Oh.
Hopefully. No. Kylie, please, I'm going to need that later on.
Nope.
It's relatively cool.
To be fair.
Relatively cool?
Relatively.
No. Compared to the usual.
Well, there was a lot of F-bombs.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, but that just comes with him, the thing.
The F-bombs, the bottles, the
gouge in the eyes.
So, two quarterfinals that we've just seen come to completion. Barcelona losing at home 2-0 against Atletico. PSG winning at home in Paris against Jamie's Liverpool. We're going to talk about both of these. I think coming into that Barca-Atleti game, we kind of didn't really know what to expect. But one of the things that we did know, Thierry, was that Barcelona had been so good at home lately, yes, and Atleti had been poor away.
Exactly. And as we all know in sport, there's something that you cannot predict is taking a red card. If you take an early red card, I remember Barcelona having the tie in their hand against Paris Saint-Germain 2 years ago, and Araujo gets a red card, everything changes. You can't predict that. And then you concede a goal on that foul, going down to 10 men. It's a double blow, and then obviously Solot goes and make it 2-0. Lamine Yamal was outstanding, trying to force things in. Dani Olmo wasn't bad also. But again, like I said to you before, it's not so much it's where he happened that I'm surprised, not how he happened. And I will explain later on.
Rashford did okay as well, Thierry?
Rashford also was good at the very beginning when they were still 11v11. But Pedri also leaving the field. I was a bit surprised by that at half-time. He could still control and manage the tempo of the game. But as we see here, as we talked about, Lamine Yamal, the team putting pressure, Rashford should finish that. I don't know why every time he goes for power in this type of situation, he always go for laces. Hey, side foot, open. It's over. But obviously it's easy to talk here when you're sitting at a desk.
But this is the big moment of the game that's completely changed the tie. Cubarsi there. Again, we talk about the high line with Barcelona. Cubarsi doesn't run back initially to get himself the right side of the attacking player. And we finally got to the right decision from the referee and the officials. And that's one blow, isn't it? Getting the red card, but an even bigger blow comes right away.
Did anybody have any issue with that, with the red card?
None.
No, it was a red card.
Whatsoever. None.
No. It's harsh because he tries to jump out the way, but he still makes contact.
We all call it a red, even when the ref gave a yellow at the very first half, because they went to VAR to check. And if you stop someone like that, and I know it doesn't look like he did it on purpose, we all know that, but you're stopping a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Dog so to call it, eh? Dog so. And then this, former Man City man.
Oh, now. Former Man City.
Thierry, you told me many times how good he is.
Thank you.
And that was a peach of a strike, wasn't it? Bend, curl, precision, everything. Goalkeeper, no chance. And then, Rashford chances. Yes. You said about him doing well, Thierry.
Barcelona still with... Oh, look at that pass from Lamine Yamal. Stop it. I mean, look at that.
outside.
Come on.
There was one angle where it looked like it was going in, but
it's outstanding. And they still try to find some way to open up Atleti.
And then his free kick hit the bar. The goalkeeper took a little touch, maybe too much in the centre.
The goalkeeper does touch it.
Yeah, he just touches it, Just touches it onto the bar there. Maybe need a little bit more direction, but nevertheless, a good effort from Rashford.
Yeah, and we were talking about half-time. Do Atletico Madrid go for this and try and take the tie away from Barcelona? And initially it looked like they were sitting back. Barcelona looked like they were going to get back into the game. Then Simeone makes good substitutions, and the guy who gets the goal, Soroth, who'd come off the bench, he went more offensive, more on the front foot. Great opportunity with Barcelona down to 10 men. They had to go for it. The right decision from the manager, and it's paid off. And they're in a fantastic position, 2-0, with the home leg to come.
You know what? Just on that, Thierry, I know it wasn't as obvious as the ones that you pointed out, but that was still a high line. I don't understand. You're losing. Get the men behind the ball. Take a 1-0, and you know who knows what's going to happen. But the positions
we'll talk about it
later. Okay.
When's it going to happen?
You should know. You usually tell us what's
happening.
I
don't know. The Matt knows then. There was a kind of an unusual incident.
That. Don't worry.
Oh, sorry. Excuse us. There was kind of an unusual incident that I want to look at with you,
Actually,
Thierry.
not so unusual when you think about it, because... No, I'm not having a go at Kate. I'm just saying because it happened before. That's just a fact. Look, as we're going to say here, the goalkeeper gave the ball and started to play, obviously, on a goal kick. And then Pubil stopped the ball here. Look, they played in position. Boom. The whistle had blown before that, and he put his hand on the ball. That's a penalty. We've seen that before with Arsenal. That wasn't called. And because everyone was vocal about Arsenal not as you all remember, not conceding a penalty against Bayern, and it was a penalty. Boom. The year after, unfortunately for Tyrone Mings, he couldn't get away with it. So that was the first mistake. And nobody knew, whatever. People were talking. Is it a pen? It was a pen on the day. So unfortunately, the year after.
So this was after?
That's after, yes.
Okay.
Boom. That's right. Yeah. And then you remember it was last year.
Yeah.
With Villa.
I think there was a big stink about this afterwards. I don't want a penalty given for that.
I know, but that's the rule. I know.
No, but it is officially the rule. What I'm saying is, I remember after that's why I was asking about the Arsenal one first and foremost. I think there was a big stink about that. If that situation happens again, that it's not given as a penalty. Have I got that right, or do we need to get Christina in?
No, but what would it not? If you put the ball down, the ball is in play, right?
No, I get
if I pass it to you and you put your hand on it.
No, I know, but we know he's not deliberately putting his hand on it to stop her. It's like a.
But I mean, he technically deliberately put his hand on it.
The thing is, though, it stops how you want to press as well, because you can see him that was ready to go and then they stopped. But I take your point, Jamie. But
sometimes they want to take the goal kick from the wide area. It's not trying to gain an advantage.
The ref blew the whistle. So if the ref blow the whistle, it's not. If the ref doesn't blow the whistle and I pass the ball and you put your hand, it's no problem, right? The ref blow the whistle. If you put your hand on it, it's a pen.
Let's go back to the one we saw.
I'm happy it wasn't given as a pen.
No, I get that.
Let's go back to the one we saw in the game today. Christina Uncle.
Christina!
Our rules expert. Right decision, wrong decision.
I still think it's a right decision. I mean, we were talking about, the Gabriel penalty in the Arsenal Bayern. And it really comes down to, and it's a thing that we talk about all the time, is, common sense and this concept of context. So, Tita, you'd hit on the head. Is this technically, and could you, by the law, be supported to say it's a penalty kick? The answer is yes. But then now let's go into the spirit of the law and the context and impact. Right. So here he's not taking away any kind of advantage from anyone pressing. No one's pressing in this situation. They're standing on the top. I heard you say it might shift where they're changing from left to right. How quickly and how in such a small area that they do it that in. Take a look. None of the pressure, none of the shift, the moment from the left to the right even changed or occurred in that side. So this is one where I'm still on the team of the side that says don't call this, because when you put it into context, there is no impact. There is no advantage being taken away from the other team. No defender would do this on purpose, right, with intent or being deliberate about putting their hand to give an easy penalty kick for this. And because of all of that, I'm still on team no penalty kick for this decision.
So, Christina, let me ask you a question. I usually don't ask questions. So you remember, I think it was 4 years ago when I talk about referees having common sense. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I
when
definitely
asked
remember
that
that
it
one.
will be great if referees have common sense. Do you remember?
She said, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I 100% remember
Okay,
the
cool.
common sense one.
And then you
yes.
said to me, the law is the law. But today,
What situation was that, though?
oh, whatever
So
it was.
context matters.
It's common sense. It was a football thing that we all agreed here. We said, remember, we said ex-footballers said that if you played the game, you remember, people got offended even, that if you have the common sense of an ex-football player, I'm sure you remember that, we said that it shouldn't be a foul or whatever it was, or a penalty, and you said the law is the law. But today, which I don't mind, by the way, understand me well, I don't mind. But today, common sense comes in when the law is the law.
Ooh. So, Titi, I agree with you, but once again, for me, context matters, right? So when we say common sense, everything's not black and white. The one thing that everyone here can agree on is offside. If you're offside by even a tenth of an inch, you're offside. And there's big conversations with VAR about whether we take away technical arguments out of the game because it takes away from the love of the game. It takes away from the passion. It takes away from common sense. So here in these types of situations, context does matter because in this situation, if prevailing and if everyone does not want to see that as a penalty kick, then we do have within the spirit of the laws to be able to say that one in this context, no one's going to fight us in. Whatever situation, I do remember the conversation, but I don't remember the context of that one.
It was a
if
pen,
it's
I
foul
think.
discrimination.
I think it was a pen.
Yeah,
A
if
pen
it's
or
a foul
something like that.
discrimination, if it's a contact, yeah, that one's a bit different because now that's so much more subjective versus
right.
this one.
So when context, so the referee blows the whistle, you pass it to someone, you put your hand on it, there is common sense on that. All right, okay. Not just so I know next time when I do a
no worries. It's called the art of officiating.
Another
right?
game. I do prefer common sense, and by the way, I prefer that. I just want to know when common sense kick in or not over the law. That's why I'm a bit confused.
No, I can see that, but it's the art of officiating. And that's the difference, right? You guys as ex-footballers, you knew you had, Colina, right? And you all loved Colina because guess what? He didn't referee black and white. He didn't referee like a robot. He refereed with feeling, with common sense, with personality. And that's where we've had to go a little bit further away from that because there's more cameras on the game. There's more technology. It's turning more black and white, not because the referees choose, but because it's demanded by the stakeholders. That's where we are losing a little bit of that feel in the game from the officiating standpoint, but not because the referees don't want to do that, because the modern game is demanding that.
This one went a bit deeper than I expected.
I'm not sure. We've spent enough time. I'm not sure with that because the biggest killer of modern day football is VAR when someone's offside by a toenail.
But Christina said that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying so. If the law is the law, surely you have to uphold the law, regardless if it's common sense or not.
It's not about whether it's handball. There's obviously a little mix-up. What I'm saying is, would you like to see the Champions League final decided on that?
No, I'm not.
I wouldn't.
But that's a different point, and that's why I said I agree with you.
What I'm saying is, it's...
Yeah, but when do you decide to uphold the law, and when do you decide not to?
It's obviously a mix-up. He's not trying to gain any advantage, and he's not even trying to waste time, because when you look, the defender puts the ball down with his hand straight, and he passes it straight away. It's not like listen, you can make an argument both ways. I think if a big game got decided on something like that, when it's a mix-up, no one's gained an advantage. No one's gained an advantage at all. Atletico Madrid haven't gained an advantage in sort of the play. I just think, for me, I'm with Christina on terms of, like, the spirit of the game. Almost. I mean, you keep talking about Kalina there, Christina, but obviously in England we have Howard Webb, who's almost like in charge of the referees, and he uses a phrase that I actually like at times. So you can have the rule book, but he uses a phrase that in certain decisions the game doesn't want it. That he almost uses that line. That even though you've got a referee, it's like we might think there's a decision, but the whole game feels like something. It just doesn't feel. It feels wrong. If you understand what I mean, that's a line he uses, and I think that's what is that what you're trying to say there, Christina, in terms of a feel for the game. Do you think there'd be an outcry from supporters or neutral clubs if a decision like that decided a huge football game?
I mean, one side of the group will love it and the other side would hate it.
Exactly.
But this is where I kind of really lean into it. And it's always been in the laws of the game. It's called the spirit of the game. And that's what we mean by touch. That's what we mean by feel. That's what we mean by the art of refereeing. You can bend the laws from time to time a little bit when we talk about the subjective gray areas, but you can never rip the laws.
Christina, we always appreciate you coming on and knowing that your opinion may not be popular, but it's good to hear it explained.
Amen,
Always good to see you.
Christina.
Go for it.
Thanks, Kate. You guys are popular. We love you all.
Love you. See you soon.
Metropolitano. This is how things look then after the end of the first legs in the quarterfinals. Then Arsenal, of course, picked up that slender victory against Sporting. They take that home to the Emirates next week. Real Madrid finished 1 goal down against Bayern Munich. 2-1 in the end was the final score in a breathtaking game at the Santiago Bernabeu. PSG commanding victory 2-0 over Liverpool, and Barcelona lost 2-0 at home to Atletico Madrid. I guess when you're on top, as Barcelona were in that first half, it doesn't help when you go a player down, and that really did turn the game on its head, didn't it? With Cubarsi being sent off and then Atletico Madrid being able to capitalise straight away.
Yeah, this was a turning point in the game. As you said, they were dominant, in control, and just one bit of madness, the ball over the top, and Cubarsi losing kind of... Actually, there's nothing he could actually really do, but this is the play. Alvarez is absolutely brilliant in the build-up to this, and it's just a through ball over the top there, and then the tanglement of legs there, and Simeone goes down, and of course referee was unsure at first, gave a yellow, but the right decision in the end, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, you have to get punished for bad defending, and Cubarsi just sleeps for a split second. He gets the wrong side of it. It's just clumsy. I'll describe that as clumsy. And, you know, I don't think he is a very good player, but I don't think he's cute enough to try and think he's clipping his legs and then going to pretend he didn't mean it. He just got it tangled up, and there's Simeone, like his old man, calling for the red card. You know, a good family tradition. Imagine playing Monopoly around the Simeone's house. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, it came to pass, and you know, and there was a free kick that came along, and who else but Julian Alvarez with an incredible strike. Actually, let's take a look at it. Pure precision, this.
Yeah, superb. He's a real talent, this lad. I think Manchester City have missed him ever since he's walked out the door. He's just takes a slight deflection and lifts it, and just that trajectory there, that put a top spin, it put extra bit of top spin, makes it dip just away from Garcia's hand. I think he gets his feet a bit muddled here. I do. I think he second guesses it when there's that little jink. So, but it's a wonderful free kick, and I love watching this kid play football. Yeah. He's brilliant.
He couldn't get a look in with Haaland. He was always deputising for Haaland. Yeah. He now has 9 Champions League goals in 12 games this season. That's more than any other Atleti player ever in the history, not even at the quarter-final stage, but just in the Champions League alone in one season.
And he's linked with Barcelona move as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. I think he's the most complete centre-forward in football at the moment in terms of everything. He can link, he can run in behind, his work ethic, he can take set pieces. He has got it all as a centre-forward.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly proving his worth, isn't he, at the moment? How about this really crazy moment? I want to go through this with you guys. Mark Pubil came on in the first half as a sub. He was already on a yellow card at this particular point, but let's take a look at this incident. We've seen it before, and we're going to show you in another instance. The keeper passes it to his player handles the ball and passes it back. The referee has not done anything here. And this is really interesting because the rule says that it is an offence if a player touches the ball with his hand, his or her hand, when the ball is in play. Now, if the keeper has kicked it to the player, the ball is officially in play, right, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen it before. We probably showed a clip in a little bit with Tyrone Mings a few years ago. But listen, the ball's in play. And the interesting thing is there's no pressure on him, right? So there's no reason for him to get panicky. He just doesn't want to play the game. But this is just a lapse of concentration. It should be a penalty. If he's on a yellow card, he should get sent off. And then you get a stroke of luck. But I think the referee was OK tonight if we let things go. But he got that one wrong. This is the Tyrone Mings incident of a few years ago. Where, with Tyrone, I understand why he's done it, because I think Martinez gives him the ball there, and there's a little bit of pressure in a very heated game. I covered this game.
I did it with you, actually.
Yeah,
and actually, Tyrone Mings was back playing after a very long time out. It was his first game back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you almost thought, did he actually forget the rules almost?
I don't know. Listen, we footballers do strange things on football pitches all the time.
I mean, nothing really forgot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just
under
think
pressure.
It's the rules are the rules.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I'm not a big fan of rules in any walk of life, but you need them.
Of course you're not. You're a rebel without a cause, Joe.
So, it's football. I think Barcelona are very, very unlucky not to be given a little lifeline there. and back into the game. But the ref didn't give it, and we move on.
Well, we have to move on. But again, just a point on that. I mean, the ref did have a decent enough game, but that is quite an oversight, isn't it, Karen?
Did he have a decent enough game? He had to go to VAR for the sending off, which was right in front of him. That's clearly a penalty. So, yeah, I think he's got that massively wrong, and I think, unfortunately for Barcelona, that's gone massively against them tonight, because that should be a penalty, and also I think he was on a yellow card as well.
Yeah,
so he would have been given another yellow, and he would have been off.
Yeah.
So the decisions have been poor, in my opinion, from the referee today, and he needed a little bit of help, and he needed help with that decision too.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't there a situation before the game where Koke and Simeone were quite vocal about the fact that they didn't like the referee and, you know, was putting a bit of pressure on him? Listen, referees are human and they're fallible. You know, sometimes that could get into it. He definitely lent towards Atletico. I think with the situation with the penalty, I think we're seeing this with a lot of referees now. The free kick, sorry. I think a lot of referees make the decision and they know they've got that to fall back on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
So there's a lot of, VAR again.
VAR again. Yeah, there you go. That old chestnut, VAR again. Look, you were critical of Hansy Flick's substitutions, but I suppose you can't criticise Diego Simeone for his Sorloth coming on and getting the winner.
I was like, because he took Lookman off, and I thought Lookman on the counter-attack, Barcelona were dominating possession with the player down, and then Simeone got it spot on, and obviously there was an overload down that left-hand side, and the cross was brilliant. And is it they were patient because they're just trying to lure them over, find the spare player. It's like walking football, but then all of a sudden they get that little bit of decision. Here we go, bang. Down there's a spare player now, hopefully, get the ball in, and then the defending all over the shop from Barcelona. And, you know, so like there, he gets in, brilliant ball from Rougerie, and that was it. You know, you're thinking happy days.
Yeah, it's a great finish because it's dipping just in front of him, so he has to concentrate. This is a great angle, and just get that side for a little deflection. You know, I think Simeone's put the big man on there because there was Hansy Flick was very, in my opinion, you know, there was a lot of physicality that come out of the team, and I thought he put Sorloth on maybe for set pieces, but also to occupy the two centre-halves like he did. So, you know, Simeone, much as I give him he ain't my cup of tea, but